Welcome back to Josh Recap. Today we're diving into the gripping and twisted world of A Widow's Game, a psychological thriller that will keep you guessing until the final frame. Let's get into it. When the husband of a famous author dies under mysterious circumstances, a high-stakes game begins, one where grief is weaponized, secrets unravel, and trust becomes a deadly gamble. The story follows Anne, a successful crime novelist who is suddenly widowed when her husband dies in what appears to be a suicide. But things don't add up. His final note is cryptic. His behavior in the weeks prior was off, and Anne's instincts as a writer tell her there's more beneath the surface. As she begins to investigate, Anne is invited to an exclusive retreat for recent widows, supposedly a safe space for healing. But this is no ordinary support group. The women there seem too polished, too calm, and far too interested in Anne's past. It turns out, this game is literal. The retreat is a front for a sinister competition where the women manipulate, deceive, and test each other, all under the guise of therapy. Only one can win, and winning, that means leaving with your secrets intact and your life. Anne is forced to play, confronting her own guilt, her husband's possible betrayal, and a web of lies that ties the other widows together. Every conversation is a trap, every alliance temporary, and behind it all is a puppeteer who's pulling the strings. In a shocking climax, Anne discovers the retreat's true purpose. It's a psychological experiment or punishment, orchestrated by a shadowy figure connected to her husband's past. In the end, Anne turns the tables, using her storytelling skills to outwit her opponents and expose the twisted game for what it is. She wins, but at a cost. The final scene shows Anne back home, writing a new novel based on true events. Was it all a story, or just the beginning of another game? August 16, 2017, Valencia, Spain. Industrial engineer Antonio Navarro Cerdan, fictionalized as Arturo Ferrer Puig in the film, is found brutally stabbed in his apartment building's parking garage. The scene screams crime of passion, multiple deep wounds, no robbery attempt, pure rage. Enter Detective Eva Torres, Carmen Machi, a seasoned investigator whose intuition immediately flags the victim's widow, Maria Jesus Maja Moroni, Ivana Baquero. At the funeral, Maje delivers a tearful eulogy, but Eva notes her emotional performance feels staged, her grief unnervingly controlled. This disconnect ignites Eva's suspicion, setting the stage for a chilling investigation. The investigation unravels a web of lies. Detective Eva's team pursues three motives: drugs, money, or love. Robbery is quickly ruled out. Witness interviews reveal cracks in Maje's devoted wife facade. Friends disclose Maje's resentment towards her husband's controlling behavior. Whispers surface of multiple extramarital affairs. Maje's own phone records expose lies about her whereabouts. Eva secures a wiretap warrant, marking a crucial turning point. As police surveillance intensifies, Maje's double life explodes into view. She juggles lovers with cold calculation, including Daniel Joel Sanches, a younger fling met in nightclub bathrooms, representing Maje's hedonistic side. La Fias, Solva Tristan Ulloa, her older married co-worker, a nurse like Meiji, though the real Salvador was a janitor, who becomes tragically ensnared in her web dops. The film shifts perspective between Eva's dogged police work, Meji's manipulative maneuvering, and Salva's growing desperation. Meji, the Black Widow of Patrace. Ivana Baquero portrays Meji not as a cartoon villain, but as a chillingly charismatic and calculating manipulator. Key revelations: Meji, she weaponizes her perceived victimhood, telling both Salva and Daniel fabricated stories of severe physical and psychological abuse by Antonio Arturo. Her affairs aren't just for pleasure, they're potential tools. She texts a friend, "I've even thought about killing him." With Salva, she spins a fantasy of a future together, exploiting his midlife crisis and vanity, highlighted in a scene where he dyes his graying hair. She promises salvation. The only way we can be together is if he disappears. Tristan Ulloa delivers a heartbreaking performance as Salva, a middle-aged man blinded by infatuation and flattered by Mage's attention. On August 16th, acting on Mage's instructions, Salva hides in the garage. He ambushes Antonio Estraftico as he leaves for work, stabbing him repeatedly in a frenzied, brutal attack. The investigation heats up thanks to Eva's wiretaps. Mage and Salva, believing they're safe, have incriminating phone conversations indirectly discussing the crime and their plans. Detective Eva reacts with a stunned, "My God," upon hearing one particularly damning exchange. Police arrest both in January 2018. Initially, Salva plays the White Knight, claiming full responsibility to protect Mage. Even after Eva reveals there was no evidence Antonio Arturo was abusive. Mage, Salva's loyalty shatters when he learns Mage began an affair with another inmate while in custody awaiting trial. Feeling used and discarded, he makes a devastating choice: A Widow's Game is a tense, stylish thriller that blurs the line between grief and revenge, fiction and reality. If you love slow-burn mysteries with dark twists and morally gray characters, this one's worth the watch. Crossplays at Bleon, we're readlins the Afters Read. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next movie.